Hey guys, so I just wanted to give you a really quick public service announcement. You see some cartridges here. These are 8mm Mauser cartridges. The one on the left is Romanian military surplus, and that's good stuff, although it is corrosive. The stuff on the right here, with the green lacquer, is modern produced ammunition by a company called Hotshot, or at least that's the brand of ammunition. It's Hotshot 8mm Mauser ammunition. And unfortunately, I haven't been shooting it very much. I only had the one box to test it out. It's been giving me some problems, mainly with extraction. Seems that while using these, if the rifle gets a little bit warm, not even like really hot, I just mean slightly warm, I have a hard time extracting these casings after firing, to the point where I have to beat the bolt physically as hard as I can, and that ends up just ripping the extractor past the rim of the case and leaves the case stuck in the chamber. So long story short, buyer beware, or shooter beware on this Hotshot 8mm ammunition. Now if you want the full story, here we go. So I bought some of this ammunition to try it out because I thought it would be closer to the specifications for wartime manufactured ammunition, being steel case and all. The main reason being why I was looking for that is because with my, zoom out a little bit here, I've got a Gewehr 98 from World War I, and it doesn't feed as nicely as most other Mausers. It's kind of picky on the ammunition. And I noticed that it feeds better with steel case military surplus, which this does feed better in terms of just loading the cartridge into the chamber. However, like I said, upon firing, the case gets stuck, and I have to beat the bolt to the point where it rips the extractor. Here, I've got the K98 bolt out here. The extractor rips past the rim of the cartridge. The first time I took it out shooting, I was testing it in this rifle. I got one shot off, it extracted fine, I loaded the next shot, and immediately the action was jammed up. And I had a hell of a time getting it out. Once I finally did get the bolt open, the casing was still stuck in the chamber, and I had to get a steel rod and, from the muzzle end, beat out the stuck case. But I thought, because this rifle has some peculiarities, I thought it was just this particular rifle. So I went shooting this last weekend, and I took my German wartime K98K here. And I did actually get through more shots than this. This I only got to shot number 2. This actually ran 2 full clips through, so 10 shots, and then on the 3rd clip I was loading, I had a casing get stuck. Now, I noticed that leading up to that, a couple of casings were kind of sticky in there, but I was able, thanks to, you know, the superiority of the Mauser action, I was able to get them out. I just had to slap the bolt around, but that last cartridge got stuck fast. And I actually ended up having to open the bolt as much as I could, and then I hit the bolt as hard as I could on the edge of the table at the shooting range. That got the bolt open, but again, just ended up that the extractor just ripped past the edge of the casing. Now, luckily, upon inspecting my extractors, they made these things hard as hell. The extractor's fine. It's not damaged, it's not bent, it's completely good to go. However, and I'll show you in just a minute, I do still have the casing stuck in this rifle in the chamber. And that's just a matter of me getting a steel rod and, you know, joining the Davy Crockett Club and ramrodding that thing out the back. Okay, so hopefully you can see from this angle, and I'm shining a light, we're looking down the back end of the receiver on my K98 here. And you can see the stuck case in the chamber area. And then if you look really closely, you can see the gnarled end where the extractor was able to get past it. As you can see, it's not like it ripped the casing apart. It's just the entirety of the casing stuck in there. Okay, now I know what you might be wondering. If you stayed with the video this long, you might be wondering, well, are these rifles improperly head-spaced? Are they out of spec? Is there pitting in the chamber? And the answer to all of those questions is no, these rifles are in perfect working order. There is some slight problems with the Gewehr 98, which is why I was initially suspicious of the rifle, but it is a perfectly functioning rifle. It's just a little wonky on the feed. The K98K, I don't have a problem with other 8mm Mauser. The only time I have a problem is when I'm shooting hot loads, or like I said, I get flute cartridges like this that don't want to feed properly. This is a perfectly in-spec functioning K98K with a good bore, no pitting. Now, if you're wondering why I also have these, this is Romanian surplus ammunition, and it is also steel case. And I shoot that out of this K98K on the regular, and it's completely fine. Functions fine, doesn't get stuck, all of that. So if you were thinking that it's just the steel case, it's not. I shoot this steel case Romanian mil-surp ammunition all the time. Functions perfectly. It's this new stuff. I suspect, though, what's going on is that this ammunition is loaded slightly hot, and I've just noticed that when you shoot hot ammunition out of a Mauser rifle, a K98 Mauser rifle, it tends to bind up the action a little bit and make it stiff. So, I don't know. I don't know exactly what the problem is, but that would be my hunch. So like I said, thank you if you stayed with the video this long. I hope this video helps inform you and keeps you safe from potentially bad ammunition.